And we are live a little earlier than I said I would be, just to get a jump on the move. Got an amazing show today. Quick with it. Should be in and out in a half an hour to 40 minutes. And it's amazing what I have to share to you. Share with you. It's a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of stuff to think about. First of all, like how I'm using the Dow to trade crypto. I never thought I would say that, honestly, but you never know what you're going to do in strange times, right? So we all have to kind of do some different things now to find a play on the market, right? But as I said, as long as the market pumps, JNUG will pump, which is sad. I thought it should pump regardless. Gold holding the 1650 range. I'm telling you, that's the new line in the sand for gold. Got bought back up, got sold back down. Gold is on its way back. It's actually going on a parabolic move here. We could take it from its older trend line. If we want to just look at gold like this, even with the manipulational down put that went on. So we could have this trend line here. So you could see gold still coming back down. 1526 area with support. But maybe it doesn't get back to the trend line until kind of want to even just take that fallout out. Say the trend line's really here, 1596. So I see 1600 gold is the new bottom, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see gold back into the 14 in this green buy zone that I had. I think that was a godsend that we even got back in there. It's on its way back to 1700 and more and counting. And let's see if you tried to pick up a bar of gold. The other day it wasn't too bad. Let's just see if you were trying to pick up a bar of gold today, how long you would have to wait. And this is the cheapest. You want to get 1 ounce gold bar, their choice. They'll pick a Perth Mint, or whatever it's from. As long as you're not picky over, it's one of these three. This one's more beautiful, honestly. But they'll give you whatever they find. Or a choice. They'll just find you it doesn't matter. It's an ounce of gold regardless. A pure ounce of gold. 24 karat gold. 9, You could get it from any one of these places. Credit Suisse, PAP, Swiss Perth Mint, the Royal Canadian Mint, Argo, Harris, or Valcalby. And so these are the things that we have on the line. So right now, if I add it to cart, the other day it said I would wait 2 to 5 weeks, which I didn't think was too bad. 3 to 5 weeks, it's not bad. A month, get your bar gold. It happens, right? But the other day it said like 3 months past June, and I was like, whoa. But Mike Maloney must have gotten a little handle on that. And critical blood shortage too. They're showing you if you want to give blood, it's a nice way to give back. Right now there's a blood shortage going on, so that's just something to think about if you'd like to give back. That's all. All right, jumping into the markets for the day. What's up with the crypto market? Before we look at futures are up. It's kind of helping me play the crypto market now because they're tightly more correlated, which I don't understand, but that's weird. Just egg. It's an egg. Why are you eating eggs if you don't? I'm done with that. All right, Bitcoin up 3.44% today. Ethereum up 10%, making big moves. One of the biggest growing. When Ethereum moves, it's the leader of the altcoins. It means there's an altcoin rally coming. XRP 20 up to 20 cents and holding with a 7% gain, strong. Tether down from that 1 cent up, holding $1. Bitcoin Cash, 259, 6%. Bitcoin SV up 4%. Litecoin holding up 9%, getting up there. EOS 9. Binance Coin, something on the radar at $15. I think that's a steal for Binance Coin right now. Tezos, Stellar, Monero up 1%. Chainlink up 17%, all the way to 281. I just looked at Chainlink. I feel like it just went up. Morning, Muser. How's everything going, my friend? How you feeling, my buddy? So if we look at Crypto Lifer, we look at this. This is the main. And I'll show you my trades. I'll show you what's going on. Let me just move this for a second so I don't show everyone my name on my trades. There we go. So I'm up $193. I decided to grab some Bitcoin at 6835, and that it kind of brings me to the title of my channel right now. How am I using the Dow to trade crypto? I'm about to go to sleep 2 nights ago, as you can see, at 10:52 p.m. on the 5th of April. And I see Dow futures spike hard, 1,000-point gains coming. And I say, you know what? Bitcoin has been pumping every day that the Dow has pumped. I said, you know what? I think I should buy some Bitcoin. That's really what I did. I mean, I looked at the chart a little bit, but it was really based on the Dow, which is sad. I mean, I don't like doing that. You know, I would wish they were uncorrelated assets. I'm also got into an H-bar trade on the 3rd of April. The reason why I got into H-bar, I'll just show you, is just the triangle. Just there was a lot of trades out there actually to be made. As you can see, we have a lot of gainers going. We have 13%. Kyber Network, something you really want to take a look at. It pays you to hold it. It's something you really want to get into. We'll have to do a deep dive into that. But up 13% today. TNT Link breaking out. So what I say is it was basically take all this out and just erase it with your hand. Like put your hand right here and erase all this junk and just look at it like it was in a triangle again. It's basically breaking out again, and it's on its way to do what it was supposed to do originally, back in its pattern, to go up 127% gains. So we still going to go up to 547. Link can go up 95% from here. I'm not going to say buy the hot green candles. Maybe wait for a pullback if it retests here. Or there could be, look, you can see there's resistance right here. It's uncanny, but look, had you just drawn your resistance line from the last place that the price had an issue, right here, it hit it, right here it wicked through, right here it came through but bounced down. And so we see 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, even a wick there, 5, almost made it in 6 places where this became basically resistance. So it's strong resistance. If we can get above this 290 region, then we're looking at a support and resistance flip. So I think that's where you want to buy. You either want to wait for it to come back down and get back in at 232. And this, I'll make a buy zone for you guys. Hope everyone's feeling well today. Hope everyone's doing well. We'll make a buy zone. So if you can get in here between 218 and 235, you're a champ. We even raise it to 245. You're a champ. That'll be an insane move if you can get back in there. I don't know if that will happen, but that's what I would play. Say we got saved by the 200-day moving averages. We have the 21-day moving making a move up. So it should be crossing these other moving averages. We'll be coming and track ourselves back bullish. I would say this to you guys, but these are, you might wondering, what are these lines? What is he looking at? This is the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200-day moving average. The white is the 21, the red is the 50, purple is the 80, the blue is the 100, and the yellow is the 200. Now, when you see an asset doing really well, doing good, you will see that the white, the red, basically 21, 50, 80, 100 are all in a nice line. Sequentially from the top to bottom, they're in a nice line. When they're not doing well, you can see the 21 will first cross the 50, then it will start crossing. Then we call these death crosses, when like the 50 crosses the 200. And look, the 50 almost crossed the 200, but it didn't here. It made it back up. And then it crossed over the 21. But now we want to see the 21 make its way back and reset these moving averages, which is beginning to happen again after this strange debauchery of times. I mean, this was a weird, that was a dump and a half. I don't know what was happening there. If it was market manipulation, if it was a true sell-off. To this day, it makes me mad to see because we had such a nice pattern forming. The fact that you could get back in my buy box, though, that extended itself back out here to 229, that was an indication it was time to get in to Bitcoin. But we have a lot to talk about today with what's happening with Bitcoin. There's a lot to discuss, a lot to think about. Show you my trades of the day. Up 197 on Bitcoin, up $65 on H-bar. Put $2,500 into both 2469, 2471 into both trades. Up about 260 on the trade, you know, but it took a couple days. So sorry, I'm just a little stuffy. I don't know why. I mean, don't have a cold, feel great. I think just the weather's changing. I was outside doing a lot of yard work yesterday. Now XDZ at 205, that just went parabolic out of nowhere. I mean, they all just boomed up. 165. I mean, they're all up big. I mean, if you think about this, I've been calling this move here gain of 35%. If we can get up there, you already made a nice 24% though in less than 8 in 2 days on a daily candle. So that was nice. Not even a huge histogram move there, just a boom up boom, up. So everything is just moving in the crypto space. So let's take a look at the regular. Now, I think it's going to go up again today. The Dow up another 700 points. So they're pumping this thing really good. They're really trying to show us that there's nothing wrong with COVID-19. Everything's back to normal. Life will go back the way it was, right? Let's just forget about all the pain and doom and just act like it's all there. Plus, a lot of this 5G is getting into people's heads. I think it's spreading up. Yeah, up again, man. Up huge. It's kind of like sad because it's pumping Bitcoin. I'm worried when it tanks again, it will just tank Bitcoin, XRP. It will tank it all. It'll take it all down. But JNUG doing well as well. Let's look at gold. Check gold holding 1641 is the first thing we looked at today. Look, I made this thing. If it came out of a bull market, I made a line. It goes like, how uncanny is my targets, right? Look, if you guys were watching the channel yesterday, we drew this mark. We said, this is the measured move for gold. It should come back up to the 1650 region. Boom, it did. Am I a soothsayer or am I just reading the chart? I'm just reading the charts, man. Yeah, the Fed is pumping this hard. There's no one to buy these stocks. People are getting money from the government. Like, there's no one to buy the stock. How is the stock market going up when there's no money? You tell me. Silver back up to 15. We want to see that, and we want to see it hold. We really do. Not much resistance or support, though. We want to get silver back up to 1660 over this line here, and then we can talk about silver again. I still think it's a good, something good to get actual physical silver, because when it does go up, you'll make more gains than gold, and then you can either buy gold with it or do whatever you like. On my radar here is Lamar advertising. Seem to have a double bottom forming too, which is very nice. Look at that, boom, boom. We bought it again. Both nibbles would have been great. Nibble there, nibble there. Would have been a nice move. I'm not trading this at the very moment. It's just on my speculative radar. So something I'm looking at. Why I'm on it? Because they do remote advertising. They can run their whole company remote. A friend of mine actually used to work for them, so he knows exactly how they run. So when I saw that and he explained to me their infrastructure, I decided, you know what, this is something worth looking at. It's also under the radar. Nobody's saying this. Nobody's talking about it. Not many people know about this stock at all. So one of the only people you'd see online talking about this stock. And on its low was at 31. It's already back to 47. And it peaked actually up to 50, 61. So it went 100%. Look at that, from 30 to 60 in 3 days. A lot of people who were smart traders maybe got in on these lows. Basically, that wipeout was the best thing ever for a volatility trader. Same as with here. It went down to 7, pumped all the way back up to 15, went over 100%, came back down. They kind of work with them Outfront Media. So you can see there's a reason why these two stocks look almost identical in formation and shape here. Because boom. Also, it just resets every time. Even though I put you up, look, just keep, like, you'd think it would put it where I put it when I go back to it. But no, it's just going to keep putting the volume into the price action. Anyway, something to look at. The Dow up another 750 points. And then there's going to a lot of news. All right, now, there's more news with Bitcoin today. And there's more going on with Bitcoin. So we're going to get into some awesome news here with Bitcoin. Try to kind of ring the bell here. So I told you I'm in H-bar and I'm in Bitcoin right now. Let's just check on H-bar before I actually dive into the news. Because I need to check on H-bar, okay? It's my monkeys. It's my monkeys in here that I'm dealing with. Okay, so link 281, boom, H-bar, the H. The H, bro. Boom, only one H showing. But yeah, it's one of the first things that hasn't like broken out. Still has a lot of room to grow. I just think it's worth hanging out in. Once you get your stop loss here, but once you're in, get your stop loss maybe below this wick right here. So here would be my stop. So a big risk reward ratio, as you can see. If we can put out a so you buy right here. You put your stop loss at, guess 16%. That'd be horrible. I don't like that too much. But the gains are coming though. 112%. You have to risk 15. I mean, that's definitely an 8-to-1 ratio, 7-to-1. I just feel like if you play it too close to the bone, 7% stop loss, You do see some support and resistance flip going on. If we zoom in here, see we had resistance here. Now we're coming in support, and we got bought up on that wick. It's a good place to be in H-bar right now. Honestly, bottom of the trend line. I'm happy I nestled myself in. Might even add to this buy. Might sell the Bitcoin and add to this buy, because if Bitcoin goes up, H-bar is going to go up, I feel like, a little more. And yeah, everything's green today except for H-bar, but H-bar had a nice pump last night. So you can see it went up. Had a nice strong green candle. It was a little more preemptive. Tomo chain, something to look at. Keep it on your radar. TNT, something to look at. Let's look at Cody. Cody's been a known one amongst the traders lately. Cody's making big moves. Check it on the 4 hour. Wow, it's got a double top kind of forming, but it didn't play out. Right now, it's actually in a bit of a bull flag, coming down to the bottom of a trend line. So this is something worth checking out. Getting held by the 200-day moving average there as if it was my line. Look at that. I didn't draw that line. So it should come back down, play games, and then pump out of this. Pump right out of this. With a target for Cody. I think that push was needed for BC to break out for the end of the triangle. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely something that needed to happen. Good morning, M86J8xwJTy6tcCvPM7QXvBeZ4UFpBkGVao. How's everything going, my friend? How you feeling? 33%. Is the MA? What is the MA? I keep wondering. Is it Massachusetts? Are you a Massachusetts guy? That'd be interesting, because that would make 3 Massachusetts guys right now altogether. Up 33% is what I see coming for this sweetheart, Cody. And this is the tether pair. You could also get it in the Bitcoin pair if you'd like. They're both up a little bit, but the tether pair is up 3% today, even though the Bitcoin pair is only up 2.5%. What happens is it gains on Bitcoin, but then Bitcoin goes up, so it gains on USDT. Now, if Bitcoin makes bigger moves, it translates to higher Satoshi count. So if this has a higher Satoshi count, then you get a higher USDT count. And you know what? They're interoperable, but sometimes you do make more, sometimes you do. No, I'm a veteran. Okay, so, okay. MA is for magazine 63. I like that. I like that. See, I don't know anything about guns, man. You need to teach me the gun way. I'm willing to learn, though. I've just been a city kid my whole life. My parents weren't into guns. I did have friends who were out in the woods a lot, but I mainly did a lot of boating and fishing. And, you know, I've only shot a gun a few times in my life. When I was young, my dad's friend was drunk, made me go out back and shoot a gun. Let me know the power of a rifle. Come here, I want to show you how to shoot a gun, boy. I don't know what was going on. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old. But yeah, it was pretty funny. The Thurbers, if anyone knows the Thurbers, yeah, down at their farm there in West Tiz. All right, so a lot of my thoughts came true in this weird, wary market. All right, let's get into the big news now. H-bar looking really good. Good place to accumulate. I still pushing H-bar as a good place to get in right now. Just a safer trade. Looks like a lower risk trade. I have my time with guns. I'm over it now. The modern bow and arrow is badass for hunting. Nice. I like to hear that. Pretty cool. Isn't it painful though? Like you hit a deer like with an arrow, and then like you gotta pull the arrow out, and what if it's bleeding? And I just love animals, man. Like I could eat it. I could kill a deer. I know I could do it. But I'd have to use every piece of it. It'd have to be super spiritual for me. I would have to like say a prayer to like, you know, to the creator of the universe and say thank you for this meat. I'd have to promise I would use every bit of it, including the fur, including the antlers, to make some type of cool art. Like everything would have to be used if I was going to kill an animal. And I would have to show that I really needed it and it was doing its thing. Better than gunpowdered all over the meat. See, now you know. You shoot into the animal and then right you can't eat certain sections. Interesting. See, you're already schooling me. You're already making sense. So this looks like it wicked up. It did. What a wick. What a wick for vet. Vet wicked all the way to 4.6. See, that's why you got to go back in the past before you even trade an asset. Draw these white lines. I mean, can believe it. Look at guys. Like that white line was here a long time ago. And boom. Like the movie Alcatraz. Got a prayer for thanks. Yeah, man. All day. All day. For the goodness, for the greatness. But boy, do we have a lot of news coming at us today. I know I'm like getting excited about the news because there's a lot of news, man. There's a lot of good news too. And you know what? Good thing that the Dow is up, even though I want the system to collapse and I'm not a fan of it and I know what they're doing. I also don't want to see people in the streets, right? So if they can kind of stop that from happening. But you know what? I wouldn't put everything on this coronavirus and what is and isn't going to happen. But I honestly need the Dow to pump. I'm in a big position with JNUG, and JNUG seems to be pumping with it. See, I played a bunch of contrarian plays, and they didn't come out exactly as planned. You know, I'm not saying I didn't lose tons of money, but what happened was they just didn't work the way I thought they were going to work. I still think SPXU right now is the buy zone. It was oversold, but then they tanked it really good when they pumped the Dow up, right? But it has this, it's forming another bottom now, though. It is kind of getting ugly. This was an oversold buy right here. And then you obviously sell the overbought area. And then, like, who would have thought that you would have gotten that many gains out of this middle section? Then I had the hidden bullish divergence, which played out. You would have bought here at about 22 and sold at 27. Nice 25% gain there. Or like 21%. Now we're back with no divergence. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than that low. Could keep coming back down, but once we get into the oversold region, 16, 15, you know what? The Dow's going to tank again, and this is going to boom up. So I would take nibbles into this position right now. That's just something I was thinking about. I'm not doing it. Again, this isn't financial advice. Please find yourself a financial advisor. Read the description below. But at the same time, it's just something I have to put on your radar to think about. If you've got money in equities and you're not sure what to do, this is going to be in a falling wedge soon. This is in a falling wedge. So it's only a matter of time before it breaks out back to the upside. And it's getting low. Soon it will get oversold completely. Double red histograms. Not looking too great. But the Dow up 715 points. But I'm telling you, I said it would go up to here to 23,895. Got to hit this line, 23.9. This is what I called. Fake stock gains with zero earnings, right? Amazing, right? So, and thank you for your service in the military. That means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Anyone, especially you being a subscriber and watcher of my channel, to be on my channel, I really, really appreciate you. It means the world to me. It really does. Okay. Safe haven assets might have just found that sweet spot. The stars could be aligning for safe haven assets to thrive as coronavirus pandemic shows green shots of improvement. While investors are not quite ready to turn the risk flame completely, investors are flocking to precious metals, gold, digital gold, Bitcoin in the interim. I like this guy calling it digital gold. Stocks are also recovering some lost ground. The gold price is nearly up 1% to 1645 at last check, while the Bitcoin price has embraced the 7100 level, currently advancing near 5%. The gains come against the backdrop of an improving medical situation. It's an illustration of why gold and Bitcoin are considered rival assets, vying for the same safe haven capital. Gold and Bitcoin rise in tandem with cryptocurrency. 7K as financial markets face a global debt and liquidity tsunami. Now, what you always do is you try to, I see you there, I see you. You always try to equate, you know, how you feel about something with how maybe other people feel. Like, I like to wear Nike Jordans. I'm not the only person in the world to wear Nike Jordans. That is an example, but it's also true. And then you go from there and you say, okay, well, I think investing in Nike Jordans is a good idea because I like them and I purchase my hard-earned money with them, and I'm not that unique. Now, I own gold and Bitcoin, and I don't know. Some days I'm like, should I sell all my Bitcoin for gold? Should I sell all my gold for Bitcoin? I go back and forth, but I don't think I like what I have in both. And at this point, like with my, if an alien just handed me $1,200, oh, the government's about to hand me $1,200. It's just funny, but if I were just to receive $1,200 out of nowhere, what would I do with it? Well, the idea would be to buy either gold or Bitcoin, one or the other. And I'm still torn between the two. I want 10 of each, 10 ounces of gold, 10 Bitcoin. I mean, wouldn't that be an amazing feat to own 10 ounces of each? I mean, 10 of each of them. I think that would be a nice goal. Other people would say, hey, I want 20 Bitcoins. It would be a lot easier to get 10 ounces of gold than 10 Bitcoins, right? 10 Bitcoins right now cost you 70 grand. 10 ounces of gold cost you 17,000. So for 80,000, you could have 10 of each. You know, that would be like my dream come true. Europe is experiencing a slowdown in the number of COVID-19 related deaths, especially Italy. Meanwhile, New York, which has been labeled the epicenter of the coronavirus, has reported a decline in daily deaths from the virus, which is inspiring some hope that there is in fact a light at the end of the tunnel. But the U.S. is not out of the woods yet. U.S. Surgeon General Vice Admiral Jerome Adams predicted that this week will be another Pearl Harbor and 9/11 moment. Meanwhile, the oil price started to dig itself out of the doldrums, though it most recently turned south again. The situation is fluid, but reports indicate that production cuts could be in the cards. All of this taken together have given investors reason to be hopeful, by not so much so that they are willing to return to financial markets with reckless abandonment. This is why gold is looking so good right now, not to mention cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Safe haven or risk on. And while the debate rages as to whether Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, given its volatility, it's clear that the digital gold becomes an interesting to investors during these uncertain times, as noted by Ample Fourth creator Evan Kuo in Forbes. You might also say that it's just a sweet spot between risk on and flight to safety, and that it seems to suit the cryptocurrency community just fine, especially with the price perched above 7,000 once again. I mean, I went and bought Bitcoin when I saw that greed index. You can go alternative me, crypto fear, and they have one that's for the Dow too, and greed. Let me just bookmark this thing once and for all. Into crypto, done. Boom. I think I might have had it at 20. Now I bought my Bitcoin in 7s, and we were actually more. The Bitcoin price was higher at one point, but even down. I mean, extreme fear at 20. Yesterday, extreme fear was 12. Last week was 12. Extreme fear last month was 17. You definitely want to purchase your Bitcoin here. Once you get into here, you're looking into maybe even selling a little bit. And once you're over here into extreme greed, you need to get rid of the Bitcoin or whatever asset you think you're trading. Unless you want to hold it long. You know what I'm saying? But the Dow, look back, 741, still doing well. Okay, new Microsoft Bitcoin mining system set to transform Bitcoin mining. A newly approved patent for Microsoft Bitcoin mining is set to change the way people look at crypto mining operations. The latest patent by tech giant relates to a crypto mining system that rewards humans with cryptocurrency in lieu of performing physical tasks. The promising new Microsoft Bitcoin mining should stop that from happening. Raise this up a little bit. There we go. The promising new Microsoft Bitcoin mining system aims to lower computational power required to undertake crypto mining operations whilst increasing processing speed. The patent document of Microsoft Bitcoin mining system sheds light on the innovative concept that combines both health and crypto. Human bodily data is recorded when a person undertakes any sort of physical activity. The information is received from the form of either a body heat signal or a brainwave. For example, watching a video will generate a recordable brainwave, which in turn will be rewarded with equivalent amount of cryptocurrency. Microsoft Bitcoin mining system works on biological signals. Traditionally, miners employ sophisticated mining hardware that costs a fortune. Bitcoin mining rigs can run into the thousands. The high price of equipment can eat into profits margins. However, the Microsoft Bitcoin mining system uses human body data as proof of work. Thus, computational problems can be solved using human body data unconsciously. Bitcoin was created for a moment like this. The billionaire investor, we're going to read that too. Digital asset can be mined using far fewer resources compared to a conventional crypto mining. Microsoft Bitcoin mining system is far superior in terms of speed as well. The official document states that the human body data associated with the given task can provide a solution to a crypto mining challenge. The immense computational effort involved in traditional mining methods can be eliminated altogether. The system will comprise advanced hardware, sensors, and online servers to keep track of the biological data in correspondence to the assigned task. A task will be sent to the users on his mobile device via server. The device will be attached to the human body and will feature an appropriate sensor to track body movements and activity. The device will also feature a cryptocurrency system to verify the activity as per the task at hand. The system will also verify and approve the crypto reward. Microsoft's forays into the blockchain realm are increasing every day. Interesting. One of my friends said Microsoft would be the buy. We take a look at Microsoft right now. I think they definitely something that you would like to own, right? At 168, Wow, they capitulated back down to 134. Would have been a really nice time to munch on some Microsoft, right? Is there more down coming? I do believe there is. But if it does, I think we'll just double bottom and you'll be able to get it at 134 again. I don't think we're going to see Microsoft capitulate down here to this 94 region where it has some strong support. Maybe you get 119. Maybe. But here you can see it loves this area. Bounce, 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 bounce again. So something to look at. Microsoft, I don't think they're going to go down. I'm buying Microsoft grass after this. Yeah, I think it's a full blown. I think it's dumb not to. I think it's like digital gold. I mean, they put all their money and all their friends. They have some of the smartest people in the world. They're still here. They're still going. And after reading that article, how they're going to link up in Bitcoin mining and they're going to get into cryptocurrency, they're going to open doors to everything around them. So Amazon back to 2,000. Nice safe bet. Would have been ill to get it at 1,600 and bounce back up for a 25% gain. But hey, no one is a soothsayer in these times. It is on a rising wedge, as you can see. So if it breaks out of this, it's going parabolic. If not, it's going down pretty hard. So we shall see. It's almost the top of the wedge. It should basically be coming back down to the bottom of the wedge after this big move. So, yeah. Oh, I just saw good. How are you? Thank you so much for asking me that. Appreciate that. Sorry I didn't see it at first. Okay, so that's first news. Bitcoin price will go up as only profitable miners remain. Data analysis. Approximately 4 weeks ago, global equities markets were in distress as investors finally realized that the coronavirus was not just an illness restricted to China, but rather a global pandemic which could permanently damage economies across the globe. Crypto markets were not shielded from the mayhem that led the S&P and Dow to post some of the biggest losses since 2008, and crypto investors will recall that on March 13th, price dropped more than 50% in the span of 24 hours. I mean, less than that. If it dropped 50% in 24 hours, it dropped like 35% in 3 hours. I see Amazon hitting a barrier. Their workers are slowly getting infected, some already striking. Okay, yeah, I think that's very possible too. That's something definitely to look at. And I think it has that issue with the $2,000 range. If we just look at Amazon, how it keeps hitting 2,000, it's kind of like this is that top 2184, right? So it needs to break that to keep moving. To break that, it has to break out of a rising wedge, which is only a 32% chance, 68% chance of falling out of this wedge. If we took the measured move out of the wedge, we take the base of this triangle here and we move it to where the wedge may basically collapse, which I think will be a little further out. We do see us hitting this exact zone. That exact zone at 956. I mean, that would be a huge loss for Amazon. But it's a possibility in the charts. That's what the charts say. Sometimes the charts show you things that are just not friendly or not realistic in your mind. But if it can happen, it can happen in the charts, right? If it can happen in the charts, it can happen in real life. Okay. So we were reading about, the Bitcoin. To date, the volatility and fear within financial markets remain, and the future forecast for equities markets is still gloomy. But some investors are at least beginning to feel that the absolute worst has passed. As is customary in the crypto sector, when a catastrophic event occurs, analysts, traders, and soothsayers and crypto Twitter personalities peer through the dust and rubble in an attempt to piece together a clearer picture of what happened. Bitcoin investors will call that a cascading waterfall of liquidations across multiple crypto exchanges offering margin trading and derivatives leads the price of the digital asset to quickly collapse. At BitMEX alone, 1.6 billion in leveraged long positions were liquidated and hundreds of millions of dollars were wiped from Bitcoin's market cap. Many investors, along with a hedge fund, were virtually wiped out in the course of a day. What hedge fund was that? Crypto hedge fund goes belly up after price drops below 61. Adaptive Capital will shutter all operations after taking heavy losses during the March 13th crypto market meltdown, which saw Bitcoin price drop to as low as 375 as reported. Why didn't they just hang out? Like, I didn't go belly up. I should have been running their firm, right? Because if I didn't go belly up, then I wouldn't have let their funds go belly up. Must have just lost too much, man. I don't know why they didn't have a hedge short so they could break even at one point, but I don't know. It is what it is. Are investors right to be worried about the state of Bitcoin miners? After March 13th collapse to 3775, there are also rumors that miners could have played a role in catalyzing, being the catalyst for the 50-cent price drop. What are your thoughts? As miners are one of the biggest players in the ecosystem, when they are selling more in relation to the other players, it would indicate capitulation and some sort of incoming volatility. This could be more. This move could be to the downside as miners selling off pushes through demand. It could also push the price up as the last unprofitable miners leave, and the only profitable miners are left, thus drastically decreasing selling pressure. As shown by the chart, when this metric is low, it indicates turn in price. We see this take place on February 2018, August 2018, November, December, April, July, October, and February. Each of these instances signals a change in the direction of the trend. So Bitcoin price and the miner to exchange flow percentage, right? So when there's less miners to exchanges, going down, Bitcoin going up. And then we can see that here the price of Bitcoin went up, and we also went up. Whether Microsoft stocks crash or not, I don't trust the stock markets to invest in. The future is just a guess. I see a large bear market either way. I do see a large bear market. I don't really want to buy an equity, honestly. Like, if I can't have it and hold it, I don't want it, right? Bitcoin is mine. It's in my hardware wallet, and it just is what it is, right? So is gold. It's my gold, right? I don't give it to someone else. So darknet vendors selling N95 respirator mask and other protective equipment for Bitcoin. Vendors on the darknet are listing protective equipment like N95 respirator masks as coronavirus outbreaks continue to spread. Vendors on the darknet from the United States to Europe and Russia are selling these protective pieces of equipment and anti-malarial drugs. According to the blockchain analysis firm Elliptic, the darknet trading platforms that usually sell narcotics and stolen credit cards are now listing face masks and other essentials to combat the coronavirus pandemic at much higher prices. N95 respirator masks, which are normally priced at less than $1 each, are listed at $175 per mask. These vendors are also selling Corona Lockdown Survival Pack, which includes cannabis and toilet paper. That's pretty cool. Darknet vendors are cashing in on global fear. In several countries, there's a ban on selling N95 masks to the general public, and there's a shortage, and they're only meant for healthcare workers. According to the report, these darknet vendors are cashing in on the general fear in public about the ongoing pandemic. No link, though, huh? No darknet link? But that's interesting to see, right? Bitcoin was created for a moment like this. Billionaire investor Palihapitiya listened to his awesome interview yesterday on Anthony Pompliano. It was an awesome podcast, definitely worth listening to. Also, they put it up on YouTube. Came across my radar yesterday. I basically watched a good third of it. Cannabis and toilet paper will not save us, right? Save some people, right? During their interview with CNBC Squawk Box in February, he proposed that everyone should consider investing in Bitcoin as one of its very few assets that could prove to be a hedge against the uncertain times. Yeah, like how else do you get out of the system they made? Before, there was no way to get out of the system. Before Bitcoin, there was nothing, right? You had to be in the system. There was really no... Before cryptocurrency, there wasn't a choice. Now there's a choice. So, look at that. Wells Fargo advisors, ex-employee charged with $35 million crypto Ponzi scam. Wells Fargo, man, they just keep messing up. Like, in the case of Bitcoin, he says that because of extreme volatility, it is restricted to daytime traders and speculators who don't really know how to use its full potential. If Bitcoin is to emerge as a more reliable and stable form, it has to detach itself from these speculators and day traders and protect the interests of long-term holders. Only then will the collapse of the traditional financial infrastructure will become more likely, he explained. Commenting how, according to his last name, or we won't say, the global monetary framework looks like the time to come. The billionaire investor said that over a span of 10 or more years, Bitcoin would have the time to build a quasi-gold standard, he added. Except that instead of owning actual gold that is primarily controlled by central banks, it will emerge to be an instrument whose value is determined by the people like us and owned by all of us. That's why it's either in zeros or in the millions. Yeah, it's going to go one way or the other. Crypto startups in Germany unable to open bank accounts. Earlier, more than 40 banks reportedly expressed interest in Germany's new crypto custody license and wanted to provide custodial services. However, those firms might still have to put up with the anti-crypto sentiment among German banks. Crypto startups are facing rejections from banks in Germany. Last year, Switzerland-based Crypto Shortage AG, a subsidiary of Crypto Finance AG, opened a German branch in Frankfurt called Crypto Storage. The firm opened a branch in Germany so it could apply for a license, but around 15 banks turned the firm down before it found its current bank. Other crypto startups in the country are also facing similar challenges. There's no legal response for banks to refuse services to crypto startups. Matthias Winter, a partner at Evershield, Sutherland, Germany, said that they get calls from several crypto companies that want to go to the German market to get regulated. Many of them have this issue. The firm is working directly with German regulators on how the law should be enforced. Matthias Winter also noted there is no legal reason why banks would not offer bank accounts, but they are reluctant because they don't understand the business. Max Kaiser selling Bitcoin now for fiat debt coupons is a crime. Bitcoin will be the only exit from the global reset of finance, which will allow central banks to even destroy the banking system itself. This is just one conclusion from Simon Dixon, CEO of cryptocurrency funding platform Bank to the Future. In the latest episode, let's look at that. In the latest episode of the financial news program Kaiser Report on April 7th, the world's largest regulated Ponzi scheme is dying. Discussing the global coronavirus epidemic and its impact on global finance, Dixon warned that the health aspect of the crisis was by no means its worst. I don't want to be dramatic, but this is a global reset in the financial system, he told the host Max Kaiser. Coming after, he said, was a massive scrambling for power by governments and central banks. Taxpayers and those forced to rely on fiat money will pay the price. I think we're going to see a real attack from central banks on traditional banks, as we inevitably experience the ginormous consequences of essentially the world's largest regulated Ponzi scheme. And that's what George Gavin said. He said that the big banks are going to try to collapse the small banks. They'll let Citibank go down. They'll let Chase go down. But the IMF will still be there. These big giant banks will still control assets. That way they'll have more control over the money system. The theory argues that the central lending institutions will allow banks to die and instead allow citizens to open digital currency accounts directly with them. As a result, control of money and hence people who are forced to use it will become so easy that the world will enter what Kaiser calls neo-feudalism. The birth of this dire state of affairs will be helped by coronavirus. Banning cash because of the concerns over infection is one such example. You're going to end up with very, very horrible, worse version of fiat currency to the one we have now, created by banks as debt. As Cointelegraph reported, Kaiser as well is no stranger to warning consumers about the unavoidable collapse of fiat hegemony. I have a moral responsibility to keep my 2011 Bitcoin hodled, he tweeted over the weekend. To legitimize any fiat debt coupons in any way now, when we are at the edge of victory, would be a crime against humanity. Yeah, like this is really where you want to be getting in. Paxful launches peer-to-peer trading between gold and Bitcoin. Peer-to-peer cryptocurrency marketplace Paxful announced the introduction of support for trading between gold and Bitcoin. With the announcement, Paxful now facilitates a physical trading in 16 countries. Cointelegraph spoke to Paxful CEO and founder Ray Youssef, who attributed the decision to support gold to surprisingly high customer demand. When a trade is entered, the Bitcoin will remain in Paxful's escrow until the physical delivery of gold is confirmed. Transactions must be completed within 21 days of trade being opened on the platform. Paxful will not physically track or touch gold traded on the platform, with Youssef stating that the exchange will take a light touch approach where possible. Mandatory KYC. Youssef states that Paxful expects gold trading will expand the exchange's presence in Africa, where high gold concentrations will grant them access to bitcoins they may not have been able to purchase otherwise. To comply with anti-money laundering, Paxful requires full identity and address verification when a user exceeds a gold transaction of $50 over the history of their account. Users who wish to sell gold on the platform may face ongoing exchange enhanced due diligence checks. Youssef added that Paxful's legal and compliance teams have thoroughly reviewed the regulated implication of supporting gold trading. 2 weeks ago, Paxful announced a partnership with blockchain forensics firm Chain Analysis to monitor transactions on the platform and to identify signs of illicit behavior. Youssef states that Paxful has been planning to add support for trade between Bitcoin and other goods and assets on the platform for a while. As such, the Paxful CEO says the gold was the obvious next step for them, emphasizing that the commodity has been used as a store of value for millennia. Yeah. But that's pretty interesting, right? So Bank to the Future is an online investment platform founded by Simon and Bliss Dixons in 2010 and headquartered in Hong Kong. Bank to the Future is focused on investments in fintech companies and cryptocurrency industry. After working as an investment banker, Simon Dixon invested in Bitcoin and then supported various influential blockchain projects, some of which still have large market capitalization. His experience in the blockchain investment helped him with the establishment of Bank to the Future, which currently has more than $531 million invested through it and has gained positive reviews from Sir Richard Branson and other influential figures. Bank to the Future ICO gained more than $30 million from the institutional investors and showed a great support for the project. It is considered to be the largest online investment platform and is well known for its transparency and bank-grade security. I love Kim.com. If you don't know who he is, you should definitely understand. Investors in Kim Mega told the stock about Bitcoin. something I'd like to see here. Qualifying investors interested in Kim.com's Mega Upload 2 and BitCache will have to stock up with Bitcoin to encourage new Bitcoin users. No cards or bank transfers will be allowed for the investment, which will be on the Bank to the Future investor page this week, the platform announced in a tweet. In the announcement, the investor platform stated that the request for investors to use Bitcoin only is a shift from its usual way of seeking investment. Normally, Bank to the Future allows qualifying investors to invest in traditional currencies, Bitcoin, and a range of alternative cryptocurrencies. But for our pitch, we requested investors to use Bitcoin only. Mega Upload 2, and BitCache will use Bitcoin, and we want our investors to use it too. If you're new to Bitcoin, now is the time to get started. In another tweet, the platform notifies that calling investors will need to stock up on Bitcoin to participate in the investment, which Kim says is aiming at a $5 million maximum and $1 million minimum goal, but denied that the idea of using Bitcoin was to push up the price rather because it's fast, cheap, secure, and global. Adding to his view, Kim tweeted that the investors in the Mega Upload 2 BitCache will disrupt outdated business models and stand up to bullies. He also touched on his held view that the launch of Mega Upload 2 and BitCache will take Bitcoin mainstream, and he expects its price to hit the 20,000 mark. 200,000? I mean, is that a typo? 2,000 or does he mean his Mega Upload 2 within 2 years? Kim.com had earlier in August explained how the anonymous cloud sharing and the anti-surveillance video hosting online service will take the price of Bitcoin to the moon, as it will be linked to Bitcoin microtransactions. To set the launch for Mega Upload 2 is January. The set date launch is January 20th. What's up with these typos, man? 2017? He noted that 2017 shall be the year of the rise of Bitcoin to new heights. Like, come on, guys. Like, we obviously know that this isn't the year, right? This 2000 here and this, I see way too much of this stuff on Cointelegraph, constantly having typos, because we want to know what year he's talking about, right? But Mega Upload 2 is definitely, I think I'm going to be investing in this. This is looking, anything Kim.com's involved in will make you money. He's an extremely intelligent man. He's taken on governments. He's had the United States government surrounding him before, for no reason, really. I can tell you that Mega Upload and Bitcoin had sex. There is a pregnancy, and I have a feeling the baby will be such a joy. No, for sure. Follow Kim.com. Am I even following him? Look, I'm not following him. Now I am. An entrepreneur, innovator, gamer, artist, internet freedom fighter, and father of 5. Wow. Yeah, look, I never lived there. I never traveled there. I have no company there. But all I work for now belongs to the U.S. How the U.S. government legally stole millions from Kim.com. It's insane, actually, if you look at that. Really weird what they did to him. Look, the UK is releasing prisoners left and right because of Corona, but Julian Assange isn't eligible for release because he hasn't been convicted of a crime. He's been held pending an extradition process to the United States. So crazy, man. Let the guy go, man. Yeah, look, the only reason Julian Assange is in prison right now is because the United States wants him dead. None of the criticisms people can level at Assange justify the horrid human rights abusing treatment that he continues to receive.
The crimes that the United States government commits around the world on a daily basis, as well as other countries. The only reason that Julian Assange is in prison right now is because the United States wants him dead. The United States.
Look, as you know, your friends are in terms of crisis. The U.S. government steals COVID-19 masks from its allies and is accused of modern piracy. U.S. snatches masks from Germany in act of modern piracy. RT News, but with COVID-19 infections climbing, Washington has diverted shipments of vital protective masks from its allies in Germany and Canada to the U.S. As confirmed, coronavirus cases passed 250,000 in the U.S. The White House pressured safety gear manufacturer 3M to step up imports of protective masks from its Chinese factories. Trump publicly promised on Thursday that 3M would have a nice price to pay if it didn't increase supply to the U.S. I mean, I watched that, and I actually showed you guys an interview by the 3M CEO where he said that wasn't the case at all. Like, he actually is in some of those countries, he's the only employer in these small little places, and he's giving these people in third world countries a job, and he's going to steal jobs from them and make them poor. He had obligations to his supply chain and not just to the U.S. Like, we hit 3M hard today. after seeing what they were doing with their masks. P-Act all the way. Big surprise to many in government as to what they were doing. We have a big price. We'll have a big, whatever, man. But Berlin says U.S. confiscated 200,000 masks at airport in Bangkok that were ordered for Berlin police. Masks were produced by 3M factory in China. City of Berlin says this is modern piracy and urges Merkel government to address this with the U.S. Yeah, they're going to take theirs. Right? Crypto mining Bitfarm cuts costs and reduces staff due to COVID-19 crisis. Publicly listed Canadian mining and blockchain infrastructure firm Bitfarms is temporarily reducing staff and citing the economic and social toll of COVID-19. In an unpublished on April 6th, the company revealed that it had succeeded at maintaining an average daily hash rate of approximately 750 petahash since March 19th by optimizing its operations in order to maximize its computing power. Ethereum leaves Bitcoin in the dust this week as whales accumulate. Ethereum, the second most valuable digital asset by market, has seen a wave of buying over the past 24 hours and past 7 days, leaving Bitcoin in the dust. As the press times on Tuesday, and you could see that with, like when we were looking at CoinMarketCap, with Ethereum up 10%. It was up even more than that at one point, I believe 17. This might have just reset. But yeah, I mean, up big, up way bigger than the 3.4% Bitcoin's holding on to. So very interesting. Also, Ether performed better in the past week and 3 months, while Bitcoin outperformed Ether in the past month and past 12 months. So in a year, Bitcoin's up 43% though, right? It was down at 3,000. Ether's still down at the beginning of the year, but in the last 7 days, it's up 31% in a week. In a week, some big gains coming for Ether. So it's just something to look at. And Ether is the mover of all coins. When Ether moves, it tends to move everything else around. So let's check down 166. I was up more at 187, down 31. I was up at 60. So this got cut in half already. Damn. Make me think, is there going to be a pullback? Let's get a look here. Do I sell those positions and wait for a nicer entry? Just try to gain myself more USDT so I can get more Bitcoin in the end. Like, that's basically the goal. We have the Dow taking a bit of a hit. At one point it was up 700. Now it's only down. Wow, huge red column. That's actually a red engulfing candle almost. Oh no, it isn't. But that's a huge red candle. We got sold down pretty hard from the top there. But that's basically what I said. I mean, we're going to hit this top line, then we're going to come back down. If we come back down, I think, looking at the Dow, I think Bitcoin will also come back down with the Dow. It's also in a little bit of a channel here, and it should come back down either to this trend line at 6,800 and battle with it, or maybe battle with this 7,000 region. It can even come back down to the trend line here at 6,065 again. One more kiss at 6,600. If I see 6,600 one more time, that was the most annoying 5 days. It's just the chop of the six. Look, it was like comes up 62, then it's up in 63. It comes up, and then it just spent a long time in here. Let's look at it on the daily. So every time I looked at it, it was at like 64, 6,600. It was annoying. Yeah, but we're getting to the top of this too. Means we're coming back down. So the Dow and this look identical at this point. I mean, you can see that there's movements here, but we're coming up. We hit the top of the trend line. We're coming down. Coming up, we hit the top of the trend line. You know, it looks like we went all the way to 7,472 at one point. So yeah, the Dow opened positive, of course, but I mean, now it's losing the gains that it had. It opened. This candle is the daily candle. So far, it opened at 23.5, right? So it opened way higher. Its high was 23.617. So we went all the way here to 23.6, and then we're down 300 points already. You know, and the day really hasn't even started. It's 10:18. So just put that on your radar. This is my friend got into this at $40. Graco seems to be holding, and it's a manufacturing industry, something to do with, I don't really know everything about the company, actually. I'd have to do research, but it's something to put on your radar, because his financial investor knows a lot more than me, does it for a living. He kind of put him onto this, so it's just something I float out there to you guys. If you want to check it out. You don't have to, by all means, is what it is. JNUG's still holding, though, which is nice to see, despite what's going on. SPXU taking that hit. But don't worry, I think this will bounce back. I think the Dow has a lot of pain coming. I'm still calling for basically 15,000, possibly even, this is the falling wedge if we fall out back to 16,000. And I still have my Fibonacci tool, as I've been showing you guys. If we go back to this, there's the 2008 crash. We're all the way up here. We crashed down again. But I still think we could go all the way to this yellow line that I drew into the 718, 786 region here to 11,000. At least to the 618 to 15,000, which we kind of did almost dabble with, but we didn't hit it all the way. I think 15,000, 7,000 region is where the Dow could go. I mean, we were, though, at 29, and we went all the way to 18. It was a pretty good... Yeah, man, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm running out. But thank you guys so much for watching. We went over some awesome news. We showed you where to buy gold at goldsilver.com. Get yourself an ounce of gold at 1765. It can't hurt. I get no affiliate links to this. Just he's who I buy gold from, so I'm not going to tell you to buy gold at a place that I've never bought gold from. So, no worries, man. Thank you so much. See, the fact that he's going to rewatch it later means I'm providing value, and that means the world to me. That comment, that's just made my whole day. I really appreciate it. But guys, I'm about to run off. I'm still holding 167. I'm losing in this H-bar trade. I'm only up 27. I was up 65. I was up 187 here. But yeah, I got into Bitcoin 2 days ago, just for 2,500. It was just a swing trade. I may hold that position long term, but we'll see how the market goes from here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember,